Daniel Kay is a poet. He gets involved a bit of football, and also he seems to like the world of podcasting too. And he joins me now to tell me more about his work. Hello, sir.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem at all. Good to talk to you. So, give us a little bit of a background about you to start off with, because poetry and football, that doesn't necessarily always go together, does it?
No, it doesn't. I've been playing football since 2007, and I've always been interested in writing. But I started writing in 2017 when I stopped drinking.
It was one or the other. It had to be either the writing or the drinking.
Yeah, man. The two don't mix.
Right. So, one thing that we need to add in as well is you have cerebral palsy. This, of course, doesn't stop you doing what you want to do, which is exactly how it should be. And it certainly doesn't stop you writing or being entertaining, or basically just causing as much trouble as you feel like.
That's right. I've been lucky. I've never been treated any different. So I've always done the usual things.
When it comes down to usual things, I mean, football, I'm not sure how old you are, but I think you may be a little bit past the normal professional playing age of that sport where they run around on two legs. As you get to do it on wheels, you get to, I suppose, play to be a little more senior in years.
I'm 30, but I look older. But you're right. We don't need the physical fitness of able-bodied football, just the one to play.
And you've played for a couple of local teams. Villa are your current side, so we won't talk too much about that bit. But you obviously the poetry is your thing. And do you get tempted to write for birthday cards, or are you're more a telling a story kind of guy?
I did play for Albion, but I moved to Villa. I've never thought of that. I just write, but mine are a bit too long for birthday cards.
Okay, so you've said you'll share two poems with us today. So the first of which, tell us a bit about it, then take it away.
This poem is called I Will Not Apologize, and it's about not apologizing for being disabled. I will not apologize. I will not apologize for being who I truly am. I will not apologize for being different than the rest. I will not apologize because you don't understand me, my needs, my reality. My disability should not alienate me. My disability should not beg for charity, sympathy, or pity. My disability should be understood. My disability should be informed on, should be normalized, should be correctly represented and truly considered. My disability should not be something I apologize for. Although I should not be treated any different than the rest, you should understand my need for certain requests. I will not apologize for needing ramps, for needing lifts, for needing parking spaces, for sometimes needing help. These are among the things I need, and I will not apologize for it. I wish more people understood me. I wish more people could erase all the stereotypes which come with being disabled. I wish media would normalize disability, yet in a way which truly depicts it through people who share this experience, who know, understand, and live with this, which accompanies me every day. Thank you.
Thank you. And I mean, I will say at this point, for this interview, we're recording this, and we had talked about me sending you the questions first, and that's not how I do interviews. I want to do it as normal, and this is just a standard interview. So I think that the phrase they use on TV is the sequence is shortened for your viewing pleasure. So we are taking the bits out where you're typing answers as we go along. But that does mean I'm asking things like, when it comes to sharing that and talking about your disability and the fact that you've got your electronic friend to help you out there, I mean, it is interesting the way people react to you, isn't it? And it's not, sometimes they just don't see the intelligence that sits behind the way you present, because things are different for you. And I don't like the word disability. Everybody's got, I mean, I can't write poetry. I've said this before. My disability is I can't write poetry. So it's not one thing or the other. And it's important we don't define people like that.
The word ability is in disability. I always say just because I'm in a wheelchair, it doesn't mean I can't do what anyone else can. It just might take me a bit longer.
I wouldn't want to race you up a hill. I think you'll beat me up a hill. So we've got one poem in the bag. Is there a book of poems out there? Is the publishing that you've put together? Where do we find your work before we hear another of your examples of your poetry?
Yes, there's a couple of books, actually. I did a collection called A View from a Wheelchair, which was my first collection. You can get that through me or Amazon. I did a Christmas anthology, raising money for Birmingham Dogs Home, that was with other poets writing as well. It's called Poetry is for Life, not just for Christmas. You can get that through Amazon or Dreamwell Writing. And I've got another anthology coming out in the summer. Similar concept to the second one.
Okay, so we'll look out for that. We'll be looking out for the name Daniel Kay. To reassure and remind people why they want to be doing that, let's take a second poem from you. What we got?
This one is called Frank Skinner Told Me Good Morning, and it's about having a quiet place or peace. For me, it's a park or a field, and for some reason, people really like it. Frank Skinner told me good morning in the park. We drank tea and listened to no one but us and the parched branches crackling under ripples of ice. Frozen like peeled apart licorice. He introduces me to other writers, surrounding me in this empty, peaceful park, like a movable feast, only with fewer cigarettes and more time to throw stones into the pond. Frank speaks to Rita Dove. They talk over microphones about how small we are, how little we know. I can't tell if that comforts or frightens me. I button my coat up, fingertips reddened and begging to nestle themselves in warm mittens. That's all I hear. The pinch of winter's love bite. I'd like to peel my mind back as Dove does an orange. The park makes that serendipitous, allows me to assume that this moment of blank canvas was fate working its way to deliver me self-discoveries on a silver platter. It's like they were trapped in these gray streets and these gray factories. Frank and his coworkers reach for nature, as I do on this metal bench, and the grass jogs back. Softer, 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 than worn down pencils and flowers trapped in bookcases. These days are softer than that. Thank you.
Once again, excellent work. And I think it's a tale there, talking again about writing, exploring part of your world. And did you really meet Frank Skinner in a park?
I actually changed the line. It said, his poetry podcast introduces me. Then another poet suggested a change to, he introduces me, to keep the listener guessing. So, no, I haven't actually met him. Just don't tell anyone that.
Okay, that's our secret. We won't say a word. That's fine. But you never know. At some point, he may pick up on the poem and might pop round for tea. It could happen. And as you used to pay for the baggies as well, I'm sure he'll probably find some time to talk to you about your time flying for them. So that'd be quite amusing. So we've heard some poetry. We've got a general idea of what's going on. We know there's a new book on the way. There are two out there. Daniel Kay is the name that we're looking for. I'm going to guess you've got a website or Facebook pages. Where are you on the socials?
On Facebook, I'm either Daniel Kay or DK4 Poetry. On Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, I'm DK4 Poetry. My website is www.dk4thankspoetry.com.
So we can find you, we can enjoy the work. And if ever I get a birthday card, which is about 53 pages long, we'll know you've started work for Clintons. Daniel Kay, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing more of your work in the not too distant future.
I've really enjoyed this. Thanks so much for having me on.